Hey everyone, welcome back. Welcome to another Open Cluster Management Community Meetings. Today is September 1st, 2023. We had a really healthy and lengthy discussion about the event-based Manifestwork enhancement in our last community meetings. And today we just want to do a quick follow-up or any question that we weren't able to get through in the last meeting. So, Wei Liu, I'm sorry to put you on the spot. If it's okay, could you continue driving this discussion?
Uh, yes, I think we we may discuss uh, well,
So why not? So because we have already like several PR merged in the API repo, um, maybe we can take a look at the code and see. I think we have some example on the test on how to use those, like how to use the client to build a event-based client. So maybe you can briefly introduce that. Um, I mean, those several peers that we have merged.
yeah, yeah, I think we can go through the code. Okay, let's share my screen. So, will you see my screen?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. As Julia mentioned, we recently we code some code into the API repo. Um, uh, I think we can take a overview to our code. Uh, to support the cloud events, we introduced two client for this. One is generic cloud event, and the other is the work cloud event. I think the generic well, here is the generic client interface. I think this will help our development uh, to send or receive the resource from the agent or source easily. This generic client mainly has three functions. One is the sync. Uh, uh, the develop can resync the resource with this method. This method will send the resync request to the broker from the source or agent, and also it has a publish and subscript function. The source or agent can use these two methods to publish the events to the broker or subscribe the resource status or spec uh, to the broker to receive the resource status and use the resource handler to handle the resource. To use this, I think we can check the okay. Let's go to the interface. I think we also provide two clients for for developers. One is the agent client. On agent part, the developer can use this function to new agent client. It it will help develop easily to integrate with their agent, use the cloud events, and also we have a source client. The source client is the develop the developer can use this to new source cloud events client on the source part. This client will also help to develop will help the developer to resync or send or receive uh, the resource with cloud events. Let me find an example. Okay, we can take a look at the UT. This is because here I didn't have an example yet. Later I will add a Readme in this package to introduce how to use this client. Here we can take a look at the OneWay new source client or agent client. We should what's something we should need. For source client, when we new source client, we need to provide the source option. The source option the source option is the source option provides the required options to build a source client, source event client. It has an interface. This interface uh, is based on different event protocol. Now we support MQTT, so we also have MQTT option. It's here. And also we need the user provide the source ID. The source ID is a unique ID for source. For example, it can generate a source ID by hashing the Harbor cluster URL or a RESTful service. It can provide a unique name or generate a unique ID to unique the source. Okay, let's go to the new client part. Firstly, user need to provide a source option. The source option will include the protocol configures and the source ID. And then user need a lister. The lister will the lister interface is here. The lister we will use this lister to list the source objects from the source or agent. The implementation dependent on the source or agent cache. For example, the source can use a DB, so we will list the resource from the DB. For agent part, for example, the work agent, we will list the resource from the work agent's Kuba informal cache. Yeah, and also we need stats hash method. Yeah, it's here. This method will get the status hash of one resource object. This is mainly used when we resync resource. we resync resource status. When we resync resource status, we calculate the status hash and compare them to decide how to resync this resource hashes, how to resync resource status. Yeah, and and also we need to provide the codec. The codec interface is here. The codec interface will use encode or decode event data. The codec value is used to encode a resource object to cloud events or decode a cloud events to resource object. So this interface is based on the event data type. For example, currently we have two event data type for Manifestwork. One is the manifest, and the other is the manifest bundle. I think we can go through this later. Also, okay, when we has these options, the source option, the lister, the status hash function, and the resource codec, we can build a source client. Then we can use the source client to resync the resource or use the source client to publish the resource with cloud event. And also we can use the source client to receive the resource from a broker. Okay, next I think we can go through the agent client. The agent client is similar with the source client. It also need agent options, the lister and the state hash function and the codec. I think the different here is the agent option. We can go through the agent option. We can say because this agent will also need a cloud event option. It also based on different event protocol. It is similar with the source option, and it also need agent ID. It's a unique ID for an agent. This part is similar with the source option. The difference is here. The agent need a cluster name because our agent uh, deployed on managed cluster, so we need a manage the cluster name here, and and when we have these options, we can build a agent client. With this agent client, we can also resync the resource and subscribe the resource and also send the resource status to the broker with this agent client. I think this is this is this is our generic client. Any questions or comments? Yeah, if we
So to
didn't have
clarify, sorry, so to clarify the usage of this, it's not tied to the manifest work for the generic client, right? It can be used in other resources, not only
yes.
manifest.
Yeah, yeah. The resource can the resource yeah. I think it's it's the resource can be any object. We need the object only provide the resource ID. It's UUID. For example, it can be a UUID, and also it need provide the resource version, and also we can get the deletion timestamp from the object. I think if one object has these three functions, we can accept the object the resource object with this client. Yeah.
Hey, Liu Wei, I
Okay.
have a question.
Yeah.
In the agent option, I noticed that there is a cluster name field. Why we need this?
This mainly use indicate which agent send the resource status from which the managed cluster.
But for kube client, we didn't specify anything similar to cluster name. Why we need the cluster name?
Yeah, for kube client, because we update Manifestwork, the Manifestwork already has a namespace, right?
Yeah.
The namespace is the cluster name, right? So
Okay.
for the yeah, for the cloud event, we will set it is similar the namespace here. So we need the class namespace and set this class name to the event to indicate the event come from which class.
Okay, so this is a required, is a mandatory field.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think this is the generic client. We also provide the work client. It only for the manifest work. Here the agent client is already. So we modify, we provide manifest work client. It implement the manifest work interface, and and with this interface, Kube style client, we can easily use this client to integrate with Kube Informer. I think there is an example how to use this client. Because this part is not ready, so this is the code maybe the code is not updated. So, but finally, I think the we will have the we will have the similar way to new manifest work and use the manifest work to build the work informer. Yeah, here we can see we will have a client builder. This builder will hold us will hold us the manifest work client, and also it will have manifest work informer. This informer is built with the client, and with this client holder we can I have uh, I have an example here. Sorry. Yeah. Here this is our work agent code. So we will provide a builder to build the work client holder. The holder as I mentioned, the holder will provide two functions. One, we can get the manifest work client and get a manifest work informer. This informer is built with this manifest work. Then we can use this manifest work directly in our controllers, and also we can use the manifest work informer in our current controllers. So for us, we just need to update the uh, we just need to update the how to create the client and the inform part, and we did not we do not change any logic in the controllers. Yeah, this is the work client, and for work part we also provide two different payloads for manifest work, and one manifest worker is the manifest. It contains a single manifest, and the other is the manifest bundle. We can see this part is similar with our manifest work spec. So develop can develop their own decode to decode the manifest work with this payload. I think there is the example for how to decode how to encode or decode a manifest work to the manifest payload. Here it just need to get the work status and set the work status back to the cloud event. And also it's the codec for manifest work to encode or decode the manifest work to the manifest work bundle payload. Yeah. And let me see. Okay. Okay. I think it's all for the work client part. And yeah, I think I can mention some details for implementation. Here we only provide the manifest. We only implement the manifest work interface, and we also provide a watcher here. So with this watcher, we can integrate this client with the Manifestwork informer. We can take a look at the watcher. The watcher is very simple. It only receives a kube event and send the event to its channel. This channel will be called back the Manifestwork informer. Then the resource will be saved into the Manifestwork informer. And when we here I think the other thing is here. This handler is received it's used to handle the received resource. Here we can see when we receive a resource, the resource is a new resource. We will add the resource to the Manifestwork informer. Here we just call the watcher's receive method, and the watcher send the resource to the Manifestwork informer. Okay, I think it's about the work client part. So any questions or comments?
So this client is only can be used by the agent, like the Manifestwork agent, right?
Yeah.
For the source.
For the source,
a client like a controller on the hub that need another client.
Yeah. For the source part, we haven't finished it yet. I think we may provide a simple client like the work agent here, and the other controller can use this work client directly to build their controller or components.
So one way that we can do with that is we can, for example, we have a Manifestwork replica set controller. We can start the client in that controller with this library. So the Manifestwork replica set controller, if we use the message way, that they won't create the Manifestwork on the namespace, right? It will just send kind of messages into the MQTT.
Yeah. For the replica set, I think they can the way is similar with the agent. It will get a Manifestwork client and use this client to send the Manifestwork to the broker with the cloud events. And so here we may provide the codec for the Manifestwork bundle to encode or decode the Manifestwork to the Manifestwork bundle payload. Yeah.
So the Manifestwork bundle payload is a payload in the cloud events. It's not in it's not in the Manifestwork API, right? It's just like a message format in the events.
Yeah. Yes. It's just a message format for the cloud events. Yeah. So here we, in fact, we we convert work to the cloud event. We can see here we get the work ID, the resource version, the work namespace, set the work spec to the manifest work bundle, and then we send this manifest bundle to the event data, and then send the cloud event to the frog. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I think it's all the two clients. And later I will add a readme here and to document how to use these clients and yeah.
Hi, this is Patrick. I recall from last time we had a demo of the manifest bundle. However, the demo only included one manifest within that manifest bundle. I know it's not going to be possible to ask for a demo of that immediately. I think I can see how it would function in this encoding and decoding, but perhaps at a future meeting, I think seeing a manifest bundle example with multiple manifests could help. As a separate question, have any considerations been made for rate limiting as we move towards event-based architecture?
Yeah, I think
We haven't. I
Um,
don't think we have considered about the rate limiting in the event yet.
Okay.
That's
As a kind of separate but similar question then,
mhm.
how might this behave if it suddenly received, and I believe the payload for a resync event is just an empty object. So if say it just received a flood of resync events.
Yeah, that's a good question. So resync is not just a empty one. It has a type and it has a payload including what resources you want to resync and what's the current version of the resource.
Got it. Thank you for correcting me there.
Yeah, I think that's a good question. We haven't considered that. Maybe that's something that we need to. Yeah, I think that's something we need to consider, especially for the resync.
yes.
Okay, thank you. That was all I had then.
Thank you, Wei. Thank you, Kucheng, and thank you, Patrick, and all the participants. Any other final questions or final feedback for Wei?
No.
Thank you all. Kucheng, do you have any last minute comment on the community?
No, just a reminder that we have a message on the Slack channel that we are planning to remove the V1 Alpha 1 cluster set API in this release. V1 beta 1 because we have starting to use the V1 beta 2 for like 2 releases already. So that's a plan currently, and if there's any concern, please put a message in the Slack channel. Then we can discuss about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Kucheng. If there are no more questions or comment, thank you all for joining. See you next time. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.